Will winter return as we head into mid-March? I think that is a very real possibility. And today we're going to discuss the newest model guidance and the National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center forecast, and we'll take a look at if that could be a potential for storms to return to the north and the northeast. So, if you like winter weather, stick around, like the video, and please subscribe. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to take a look at the newest GFS model, and this is one of our global forecasting models, and this is today, Monday, March 9th. And you have pretty quiet out today, pretty sunny in the east, some showers into the west. And as you get going here, moving into Wednesday, you have a severe line of storms that will move across our country, moving eastward, and that will bring severe weather along with hail, wind, and possibly even tornadoes. And if you continue to move this in motion, then you have, I think, a very potential potent clipper system moving down into the Great Lakes that will bring lake effect snow around Friday the 13th. And then here's here's when winter we're just going to return here, guys, I think. Moving into the 14th into the 15th, you're going to have a system that's pretty suppressed in the north start moving across your region. You have the low pressures develop right there, and you can see that it does develop a strong winter storm into the north and the Great Lakes and even into the interior northeast. And then as you move this in motion again, this is the time of interest I'm looking at. So this is the 17th to the 19th, and you have this big trough, which is going to be these blue lines where it reaches the med lines or red lines, and it's going to create a U form. That is almost like a piece of cold air coming off of the North Pole and dripping down like a raindrop. And typically, if you get a storm along the jet stream, which is right where those two things meet, then you get a storm system. I think that it's rare in March that we get a storm, winter storm, but when you do, they're typically big because there's more moisture from the Gulf to work with, and the hard part is going to get the cold air source. I think in this scenario, I think we're going to have the cold air source. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the moisture in the storm from the Gulf, and I don't know if those two pieces are going to come together in time to produce a storm, and that's why we're going to keep watching this time of interest. But you continue to put this in motion, and you have that cold air source coming down, and this is right here. You have that low pressure system right here. You have a low pressure system off the coast of the Carolinas, and then you have a clipper system coming down from the north. If these two pieces of energy could match up right about here, right here, if these two pieces connect, we could be dealing with a blockbuster storm along the I-95 corridor if we continue to move that to the coast. Am I saying that's going to happen? I'm saying there's a very, very low chance, but I think the setup does support that pattern for the 17th into the 19th, 18th, and 20th. But that's not our only global forecasting model. Let's take a look at the European model. What does that show? 12 o'clock will be out soon, but for now we're going to look at the OOZ. And then the same thing, it has that storm system moving in Wednesday, Thursday, and then that clipper system moving through, and this is our main system coming through the 14th and 15th, and that is going to set up our cold air source right about the same time frame. Same things happening, that the U formation forming the trough, but there's not really a lot of energy to work with here as much as the GFS, but you still have that piece of energy down here in the Gulf producing thunderstorms, and then east of the Carolinas and Florida and Georgia. Like I said, if you can get those two things to line up, we could be dealing with a big snowstorm. But I definitely think that we're going to be dealing with a storm the 14th, 15th, and 16th. You see this is a very potent storm here in the north into the Great Lakes, bringing heavy, heavy snow into all these regions. It could be one of the bigger storms of the season, bringing, I think, up to 6 to 12 inches in the area that is hit. But this is far away. It could possibly still not happen, but I think it's looking more likely that it will happen than it won't. And I think that we're going to keep an eye on it, and we'll talk about totals as we get closer, because this is still 6 days out. When we move in tomorrow into the next day, then we'll start to talk about totals. But what does the national blend say for snowfall? You put this in motion, and you see it's highlighting the areas that we talked about. It has the swath of snow in the purple from 6 to 10 inches. Red is 6 to 16 or 6 to 18, and that red is 20 to 36. Yeah, along the Great Lakes region, you have 35 inches of snow from the lake effect snow. That is that storm system, the clipper system, and the 15th and 16th time of interest. But you see, even down to the Carolinas, you have a 1-inch snowfall mean in the national blend of models, and to the mid-Atlantic and to the northeast. I think that is coming from the time of interest we were talking about, the 17th through the 20th. And if you continue to watch it, I think maybe something could come of it. What does the CPC outlooks show for the same time frame? Well, I will tell you, it lines up. If you take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, again, you have that U formation. The blue is cold, the red is hot weather. These are chances for above average temperatures, and you see that you have much of the north in these blues, and then into the west and south you have the reds. And then the same time frame for precipitation, you have the greens up here in the north, and that is supporting above average chance for precipitation. So when you get cold and precipitation in early to mid March, it's typically when you get snow into the north. Even if you move into the 8 to 14 day range, you still have that cold lingering before it moves out again into the precipitation. You still have it into the north. But there is going to be a chance of severe weather through today and the next couple of days, so you're going to be weather aware. You see it's highlighting this area into the south today, and tomorrow is our big risk. This yellow and orange is 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Could bring hail, strong winds, flooding, and possibly tornadoes. I'm sure you guys have seen that tornado that hit recently. It was one of those big weather, one of the biggest weather phenomenons in early March we've seen in a while. Past few years, I hope everyone's recovering from that, and keep them in your prayers, guys. But again, something similar could happen here in the next 5 days or so with this highlighted area into the all the way up into the Great Lakes, all the way down into Texas. If you guys like the weather, hit the like button. If you guys like the video or like the channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.